Welcome to the women's locker room. This is the Anji Weissenfluh show, #1. After a big weekend, Coach Weissenfluh, did you get any sleep at all?
You know, I didn't get much. I wasn't celebrating like some of the Lady Mountaineers were, but I was planning ahead and focusing on Cascade and just sharing some special memories with my family. And so not a lot of sleep, not a lot of sleep.
Kind of recap briefly on the game. Obviously there was a lot going on, but just how big of a night was it?
You know, I can't think of, you know, just recent memory of just how big a senior night was for us. Conference championship on the line, and just, you know, how we have done so far up to that point, and the Whitney Lehman story, the Laura Olson story, and then obviously give respect to Northwest Christian. I mean, they came ready to play, and so we had to fight for it, and so it was just a great night. It was just a good night.
Now you mentioned Whitney Lehman and Laura Olson. Was that kind of planned that they were going to come in that late, or did you just tell them to dress down just to be with the team?
You know, again, I'm the kind of coach that I don't want to think ahead. Each time if I think, okay, we're going to be up by 15 and they're going to go in the game, that's when you lose by 6. But it started out, I just wanted to see Whitney in a uniform, to be honest with you. I just wanted to have her put her uniform on and be just a part of it in the locker room, and then out on the court during warm-up, even if it's standing under the hoop, just for the first and last time of her career. It was the first time this year that she had put on her uniform. And so, I mean, she was kind of giddy and nervous, and she was just different having a uniform on, Coach. So, I mean, that's what it started out being. In the back of my mind, though, I knew if we were in a situation, I saved one timeout just for that, just in case. But I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell assistant coaches. I didn't tell them. I didn't tell anyone because, again, the more you talk about it, the more it's not going to happen.
Well, it was quite a surprise to all the crowd, that was for sure. Made for a special moment. Before previewing kind of the Cascade Conference Tournament coming up, we got a preview. We're going to start with your Cascade College and what they bring to the table.
Well, they played us tough the last 2 times. How we have been able to beat them is getting up and down the floor, outrunning them, getting transition baskets. With our new lineup, without Laura Olson being one of our key players in that transition, it might be a little different. We're going to have to find a way to run. For us to beat Cascade or anyone in the conference from here on out, we have to get some transition baskets. And that's what made the game so difficult on Saturday. I think we had maybe 2, and I can't even remember those 2, but I'll give us 2. But we're going to have to score 10 to 20 points somewhere in that ratio to win in the Cascade Conference Tournament.
Looking at the tournament as a whole and the conference, you got the top 8 teams making it. If you had to pick the hottest team right now, you got Southern Oregon, of course, pretty hot at the moment, but Oregon Tech and College of Idaho right there as well.
You know, Southern Oregon obviously I think is still the team to beat. They have a great team, great coach, and they can just, you know, they can do some things consistently better than some of the other teams in the conference. But Oregon Tech is probably the hottest after coming off that win on Southern Oregon. So Southern Oregon or, you know, Oregon Tech. But our experience, I wouldn't count us out just because of our experience alone. You know, of course, we've got 3 or 4-year players that have been in this same situation the last 4 years. We've got a couple 3 years. I've been there, so I wouldn't count us out. But I think whoever's going to win it has to go through Southern Oregon.
Well, the team that's going to win is going to have to go through Quinn Coliseum, and that's definitely a tough place to play. How is Quinn Coliseum, you know, one of the best, actually the hardest places to play for another team? What makes it so special?
Well, obviously our student body, first and foremost, our student body, and that's athletes and non-athletes. But I think of all the traveling we do, we have the most athletes supporting athletes. If it's the soccer team, if it's the football team, whatever sport that's not playing that night or involved, they're there, they're involved, and you just don't see that. You see some students at other games, but you don't see you don't see Southern Oregon's football team at the men's game or the women's game. And I just think it's obviously the student body, and then the community is really rallied around us, buying those season passes and parents. But it's just our environment, our crowd. They get off their feet. They're a little rowdy. I don't know if we'd win a sportsmanship award with our crowd, but I don't know if that's important either. They're college kids. They keep it under control. Nothing is, our administration does a good job, and our security does a good job, obviously monitoring their behavior. But they allow them to be college kids, and they come and they have fun.
Taking a look back over your career, and you got the postseason coming up, kind of a March Madness time. Can you share with us one of your favorite postseason memories?
Oh, wow. You know, as you're coaching, they all kind of blend together. I'm not going to lie. You don't ever want to date yourself. And so each year you're thinking, it feels like your first or your second, and then you look back and go, wow, I've already been doing this 8 years. But honestly, one of the most special memories was was Saturday night, seeing Whitney out there. That will always be one of my top memories, just because of what Whitney has brought to our program. But another, great memory is our first season. Our first team, we had no expectations. We were coming off 8-17 season. We went from the last place team in the conference to the first place in 1 year with only adding one person to the lineup. And just the personality of that team, you had Trisha Haddock, Jamie Joe, Brooke Sellers. I mean, the personality alone, if anyone that's watching this has an opportunity to know those girls, well, I can't even define how they are. They just made it really special.
Now, I know you don't like to look ahead, but have you thought about what you're going to order at Famous Dave's yet?
I always order the same thing. I'm a creature of habit, and I'm sure I will have some ham and corn on the cob and baked beans, so I always order the same thing. I'm sure everything's good on the menu, but if I like it, I stick with it.
Women's basketball team will be returning to Sioux City this year, and Famous Dave's always a fun stop for them. One more question. Now, you got the writers' strike going on TV.
Yeah.
What episodes are you missing the most?
Wow, what episodes are I missing the most? College basketball is keeping, not just our season, but I watch a lot of college basketball, men and women's, and that's been keeping me real busy. But I would say probably Desperate Housewives. I am an avid fan of Desperate Housewives. I love the show. So on Sundays, I kind of miss Desperate Housewives because that's how I unwind from the week. So, I hope they get back. It's over, right?
I guess.
It's over, but new episodes won't come until July. So I have a long time to wait.
Can't say that I watched too much of that.
What's your favorite show? I'm going to turn the tables.
I'm a fan of The Office. I'm missing The Office.
Never seen it.
Okay. Well, we're actually going to get with Coach Weissenfluh next week as well, and hopefully we're talking about a Cascade Conference Tournament championship.
I hope so. That's our plan. That's our goal.
Well, thank you, Coach, for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, thanks.